Hi, I'm Plymouth Township Supervisor Kurt Heise, and I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to learn more about my focus on the future for our great community. When I took office nearly 8 years ago, Plymouth Township was a mess. Department of Justice investigations, brazen thefts of township property, audits and budgets not done on time, demoralized staff, and a deliberate defunding and dismantling of our fire and EMS services. I worked to change all that. I kept my promise to turn Plymouth Township around, and today we're blessed with competent management, rebuilt police and fire services, and financial stability. We've changed the culture at Township Hall in every metric. But we're not resting on our success. My team and I are focused on our future, a future with safer streets and schools, low taxes, the best police, fire, and EMS services, improved recreation and senior services, better roads, smarter growth, good jobs, and a cleaner environment. You deserve nothing less. Creating a better future requires the positive, common sense, real-world, public sector experience that I bring to the office every day. I've been a public servant for more than 30 years. As a municipal attorney, deputy mayor, director of the Wayne County Department of Environment, your state representative, and an adjunct university professor. I'm proud of my record, and I put that experience to work for you every day at Township Hall. The core missions of any city or township should be public safety, economic development, and fiscal responsibility. Over the last 8 years, I led the charge to rebuild our police, fire, EMS, and dispatch services. We're fully staffed in all public safety departments. I reopened Fire Station 2, and now I'm working to replace it with a new fire station next year. We've purchased a new ladder truck, 2 new fire engines, and new ambulances. We've hired a special school resource officer for our kids' safety in schools. Our police now hold seminars on senior scams, cybersecurity, and security in our houses of worship. Next, we're going to train a specialized officer to handle overweight trucks along our busiest of roads. We must constantly strive to provide our men and women in uniform with the best equipment, training, and competitive salaries. It's no wonder then that I'm endorsed by our police, dispatch, and firefighter unions. They know I have their backs and that I will never defund our first responders. We hear a lot about economic development these days. Over the past 8 years, we've seen more than $500 million in new private sector investment in our community. Henry Ford Hospital, Amazon, Rivian, Webasto, Amazon Fresh, St. John's Resort, and many other smaller businesses along our major corridors. This growth is the result of a thriving community, a place where people want to live, work, and play. Our local economy is thriving, and believe me, we are the envy of our neighbors. I'm especially proud of the MITC development zone with Northville Township, converting derelict and contaminated prison properties along 5 Mile into hubs of technology, commerce, retail, warehousing, and residential. Thanks to the state and federal governments and Wayne County, we've received more than $13 million to rebuild critical infrastructure in the zone, all the while protecting wetlands, conserving green space, and ensuring proper stormwater management. I'm especially looking forward to working with NEL Hydrogen, who has chosen Plymouth Township as their North American hydrogen battery factory, turning water into energy to power the vehicles of the future. This $400 million facility will create more than 500 good-paying, highly technical jobs. In fact, many of the most recent large-scale developments in the township have been on contaminated brownfield sites, or on what they call grayfield sites, like the old abandoned Kmart store and old Spartan warehouse. These developments not only improve our tax base, but clean up the environment, creating jobs and economic development. Not all growth is good, however, and that's why our Board of Trustees has consistently and unanimously opposed the Salem Springs Urban Services District since 2017. And we've also unanimously opposed the proposed Salem sewer that would devastate our property values and flood Plymouth and Canton townships. With my experience as Wayne County Environment Director and an environmental policy professor and attorney, I have led the charge against the Salem sewer, and I'm uniquely qualified to find fair alternatives for our communities based on science and data. And if we ever end up in court with Salem, well, I'm ready for that too. And now, let's talk about Northville Downs. First of all, they are not coming here. They are moving to Fowlerville and are actively selling the property they bought at 5 Mile and Ridge. The bottom line is that Northville Downs made a lot of promises to the township that they couldn't afford and couldn't keep. When the Board of Trustees unanimously supported a community benefits agreement to get their promises in writing, Northville Downs walked away. It was my recommendation to end negotiations with Northville Downs. And remember, everyone on the Board of Trustees supported the community benefits agreement, even my opponent. The third mission of local government is fiscal responsibility. As I always say, Plymouth Township is a very lean operation with about 100 employees, of which 2/3 are police, fire, and dispatch. I lead by example too. I don't have a deputy, a car, a PR director, or a TV studio. I don't get mileage, and I pay my own cell phone bill. I'm not on our health care plan. I eat lunch at my desk almost every day, which usually begins around 6:30 a.m. Of course, thanks to technology, I'm always there to answer those 3 a.m. phone calls. Fiscal responsibility in Plymouth Township is everyone's responsibility. We now have a AAA credit rating, a $9.5 million rainy day fund, and still the lowest taxes in Wayne County. Our audits are clean and on time. Our budgets are balanced, and we've been awarded tens of millions of dollars in grants from every unit of government. Now, this doesn't happen by accident. It takes careful planning, common sense budgeting, living within our means, making cuts where necessary, and being frugal with every penny we get. Because we know it's your money, not ours. Again, in every measurable, Plymouth Township is better off than it was 8 years ago. And we are not finished as we continue to be focused on the future. Now, not everyone feels that way. My opponent said he wants Plymouth Township to be Mayberry RFD, a place where people work and sleep, as he put it. That's not very inspiring. Economic development is a dirty word for him, despite his libertarian leanings. Police and fire? He voted to defund them in the 2024 budget and has consistently favored taking away or defunding retiree benefits. He opposed our fire department's life-saving ladder truck and did nothing to fight the closure of Fire Station 2 in Lake Point. Now, he wants to continue outsourcing your EMS services so he can appease his anti-union base. He also wants to blow an $850,000 hole in our budget on a one-time budget gimmick, a hole that he knows will be borne on the backs of our police, fire, and EMS. My opponent has been on the township board for a combined 28 years. How come he couldn't fix the township during all that time? What's his vision for our future other than to attack everything we've accomplished? Well, maybe this job is his retirement plan. It certainly isn't mine. I'd like you to ask yourself the classic Ronald Reagan quote, "Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago or 8 years ago?" For Plymouth Township, in terms of public safety, economic development, and fiscal responsibility, the answer is a resounding yes. Plymouth Township is on the right track. Let's keep it that way. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention what I like to call our future-focused team. Jerry Vorva for clerk, Bob Dorshevitz for treasurer, and for trustee, retired Judge Greg Bill, trustee Jen Buckley, former treasurer Mark Clinton, and trustee Audrey Monahan. Together, these professionals bring years of experience, commitment, and honor to the offices they seek. They are not yes men or women, but independent thinkers who bring a variety of diverse life experiences and judgment to the table. I hope you will support them on August 6th, or by one of the many early voting options now available to us. Again, thanks for listening today. I appreciate your time and your vote on or before August 6th.